Did you know that potatoes contain all the essential amino acids your body needs, you know, to survive? This fact got me curious. I was thinking, hey, has anyone ever actually survived on potatoes? And it turns out there are actually many instances of people doing this for an extended period of time. One guy even went as far as doing it for 60 days just to prove that you could. And there are a lot of names for this diet too. They call it the potato hack, the potato diet, the potato reset, whatever. And a lot of them actually claim that it's good for you, for things like your immune system and your gut health. I wasn't fully convinced by these claims though, because a lot of them were just alleged. So what I did after was I did some research on some basic biology to see. No, I didn't. Of course I didn't fucking do that. Well, what do you take me for? Research takes a lot of reading, which I don't know how to do. So instead of learning simple sciences, I am going to eat only bland potatoes for a week and see what happens, because surely that's easier. So let's get into day one of another one of my stupid ideas. I went for boiled potatoes this time, but further into the challenge, I will be trying every cooking method I could imagine. I think it's a bad sign that I haven't even taken a bite of this shit yet, and this challenge is already hard. Like, while I was making these, I was just thinking about how fucking painful it's gonna be eating these for 7 days straight, and so my cravings for other food has already started. Like, I was making these potatoes, and while I was doing it, I had this intrusive thought. I saw a jar of peanut butter, and I had a very strong compulsion to just fucking, But you know what? It might be too soon to say. I haven't even tried it yet. What if this is the best shit I've ever tasted? The fact that I can't put salt on these hurts me. This is my life now. The rules of this reset are pretty simple. I am allowed to eat as many potatoes as I want, but I am not allowed to put any oil or salt on them. I am also only allowed to drink water. Part of the reason for these rules is related to what that tongue can do. Taste. The taste receptors on your tongue are much like your local iPad kid. 1 second they're exposed to a burger, then they're tasting a Coke Zero, then they've pissed themselves in aisle 4 of Safeway. But during the potato diet, your tongue becomes much like a dead horse. It's not exposed to anything but things that grow in the ground. That way, when I eat other foods again, it's much like this horse has risen from the dead and become a majestic centaur. That was possibly one of the worst convoluted analogies I've ever used in my life. Anyways. Before day 2, I did some meal prep, which was really easy because guess what? It's all fucking potatoes. I ate those the next morning and immediately felt like shit. I'll let him explain. Okay, it's the morning of day 2. There are 3 things that I've noticed so far. 1, I am so tired. 2, I have completely lost my appetite. And 3, I have not pooped. There's a very good reason why those 3 things are happening, and I'm not going to expand on the poop part because that would be fucking deranged. You see, potatoes are the highest rated food on the satiety index. That means that potatoes, as opposed to any other food, keep you fuller for longer, making you less hungry. I had to read like a whole 3 sentences to figure that out. I like fucking crazy. I ate about 7 potatoes on day 1, which translates to roughly 1,300 calories total. Just to put that into perspective, a guy my size and of my activity should be eating about 2,500 calories a day. So yeah, that's why I was tired, and that's also why I was talking about my poop. Anyway, further into day 2, I made baked potatoes instead of boiled potatoes. I mean, I just wanted some variety, but biting into them felt a lot like biting into a balloon because they were so rubbery and gross. But I made like 9 potatoes, so it was way too late to throw them out, so I just packed them up for day 3. The rest of day 2, I played some Minecraft, and that was basically that. The third day was when I went a little insane. I ate the meal prep from the day before as I went along with my day, but the biggest issue I had when I got home wasn't that I was tired or anything, it was just that I was fucking bored. Typically, whenever I get bored of like the 50 other things I could do to fill my time, I go to the fridge to see if there's anything I can snack on. But nowadays, you know what I'm allowed to snack on? Take a wild guess. Without the luxury of boredom eating, I was getting more and more desperate to try new things. You know, at this point, why not? Just why not? That actually wasn't all too bad. The raw potato tasted different, which meant that it tasted good, but it was kind of ambiguous whether that was good for me or not. So instead of that, I put some boiled potatoes in a Ziploc bag and threw them against the wall until they turned into mashed potatoes. Y'all know I keep that thing on me. Another thing I noticed was that my morale was very low. Like, I was getting sad more easily, I was getting worried about shit for no reason. Maybe you could account that to me being malnourished and eating potatoes for a week straight. I don't know, who's to say? Like, these potatoes have me, like, depressed while I'm driving home. It is a mental battle to not order a pizza every second of the day. I showed you like 10 seconds of me talking on that couch that day, but the truth is that I yapped for like 25 minutes straight, and I circled back to talking about my poop cycle is kind of off. I'm pooping at times I don't usually poop. So yeah, rest of that day, I just made some meal prep and I got on to... This morning was not as great. Like, as the day went on, I started to feel more and more normal. But in the morning, I was feeling a little nauseous. I was eating the mashed potatoes in increments as to not throw up. And I'm finding as the days go on, I am eating less and less because my appetite is just disappearing. I mean, my appetite is fully here whenever I smell literally anything other than potatoes. Is this how white people feel? Is this how they live? The cravings on day 4 got pretty bad. Like, if you showed me a dirty plate with a conspicuous red sauce all over it, I would pay you to lick it. And that's not like a funny haha kind of thing. That's like I walked downstairs, I saw a dirty plate, and I started drooling. Like, I started drinking hot water so I could pretend that it was green tea, which is so sad and dramatic. But the cravings the next day got on to some more desperate extents. So I bet you're wondering, Ko, why the fuck do you look like that? Why does it look like you were just thrown around by a forklift? And my answer is no, I was not just waterboarded. This is just my bedhead. It is currently 5:30 p.m. and I just woke up. I got back home and then immediately just fucking passed out. So guess how many potatoes I've eaten today? Spoiler alert, none. I'm a lot less hungry than I thought I'd be, but I should probably eat something, so I'm gonna cook up some potatoes and get to munching, but it's just 2 days left. 2 days and then I'm free. The most interesting part of my day at this point was when I was brushing my teeth in the morning and night. I was so bored of boiled and baked potatoes, so I just started fucking around. This is cold water and mashed potatoes that I put in a shaker. This is a very curious beverage. Day 6 came along, and the only thing that was keeping me going at this point was that I could eat normal food the next day. I don't know how else to describe it, but it was a lot like I was eating cleaning products or something. Like, the potatoes were starting to taste slimy, and they were starting to smell like chemicals. And at this point, I was literally filling up on water just so I could avoid having to eat another fucking potato.
These potatoes are starting to remind me of soap.
I was so excited for this to finally be over. So, for my final meal, I made the ultimate potato dish that I like to call... I don't know. I don't know what the fuck that is. I took a professionally cut block of boiled potato, topped it with some mashed potatoes I made by beating it with my fists into submission. I added some baked potatoes that stuck to the tin foil because there was no oil. And finally, I garnished it with a fucking disgusting potato puree, which is literally just mashed potatoes and water. And that, my friends, is how you eliminate your misery and boredom with a plate of more misery. But now, how does this taste? We got a little bit of everything. I'm having some serious fucking texture issues, man. But this is the last of it. Oh my god, this tastes like shit. Now this is what I suffered 7 days for. It was sort of a surreal experience because I could choose any food in the world to eat first. But after a lot of decision making, I settled on more potatoes. Let me explain. Every time I ate a potato, I was so curious as to how it would taste if only I could have maybe a little bit of butter and a little bit of seasoning. So that is exactly what I made first. You know, I was planning on breaking this challenge at like 8 a.m. today. I did not sleep. I was so excited to just eat a normal potato. So what I have here is just a potato, but it's pan fried with a little bit of oil and a bunch of seasonings, and it smells just heavenly. Oh my god. My mind is actually blown. Like, I can still taste it as if it was still in my mouth. You have no idea how much of a difference this makes. It's like night and day. It's like this is an entirely different food. I am just at a loss for fucking words. I mean, like, I'm actually speechless. Like, I don't know how else to describe this to you. It's just like every flavor has been dialed up to 11. There is so much dopamine going into my brain right now. Now I'm just thinking of like all the things that I've been missing out on eating and how I'm so excited to put them in my mouth again. Speaking of which, I had something else that I ordered which I had been craving all week to eat. The main event here, we got a pizza. Now what I got is the fiery buffalo chicken. I picked this pizza because it sounded like the one that had the most flavor. It sounded like the biggest flavor bomb. It also has chicken on it, and I have not had proper protein in 7 days. So this sort of like umami flavor, I assume my body is gonna be very happy about it. Oh my god. I don't know why I'm waiting so long. I feel like I have to like take a moment before I do this. I feel like I'm entering like a divine state of being. Okay. For the rest of my life, I don't think I could eat anything more satisfying. Dog, like... And oh god, it's spicy. Nothing comes close to this, man. All I need now is like a fucking Capri Sun, and like, I could be happy for a million years. Now, you might be wondering how long this feeling lasted, and the truth is, not very long. It lasted like half a day. These things like salt and super flavorful foods, if you do this, then you'll learn that you take them for granted very quickly. Now, is my gut health and immune system better, just like everyone said that it would be? I don't fucking know. I can't shove my hand down my throat to check out my gut microbiomes. If you can, that's kind of sick. But you know, it's hard to say whether I feel healthier or not. I feel the exact fucking same. Now that I think about it, I probably should have seen that one coming. Maybe I should have considered that before I started. Instead of doing this, I could have just done some research and nah. I really, really want you to listen to me here, okay? Really listen. All of my experiences here are anecdotal. That means that they just happened to me. So if you want to do this, do your own research, please. Talk to a doctor. Don't listen to me. I'm just telling you a story. Like I said before, I can't read or do long division or swim. Please subscribe to me. If you don't subscribe to me, then I don't know. I wouldn't be able to fucking tell. But other than that, get home safe and stay kind, everyone.